Well my friends, here we go again. Today I want to show you my story about streetball. As the title says, I'm a streetballer since 1991. I'm not 100% sure. I made a lot of things, researches to make this happen now. But I believe it was 1991. So we start straight into it. I hope you like it. You know a little bit about back in the days, and this is really nice. Sad that it's so long ago. I wished I could go back sometimes. So we started 1991. I believe I started straight in the flat, exactly there where we are now. Behind you there is the long, how it's called in the flat, you know what I mean? And there is a basketball ring. I got it in 1991 I think, and it is the Boston Celtics ring. The basket, the ring, Boston Celtics. So and there in the flat I started. That was really cool. I always played with those soft balls. You know that? There exists the soft tennis balls and there exists a little bit bigger ones, but not the soft balls like a football, a little bit smaller like this. I don't have anyone anymore, but with those soft balls, they exist now as a basketball, where they call it with no noise, that we used 1991, and that was cool. And also the small footballs, there were so soft footballs, mini footballs, and with that we shoot it because there was plastic and they were perfect for it. We had their games. And I will show you a few things there that you see it, but that is not from the back in the day. That I took a few months ago, where I made a video how I played in the flat. I learned there to throw, the free shots, and I dunked because I was so little. I tried to jump up to the ring, but I couldn't. And a little bit later I was growing, and then I could make dunks, and that was really nice. We played games there, even when it was small, but really great, But also there I hurted myself one day, because when these are my feet, one day I jumped, that's how it was left, right, then I jumped in the air, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and landed exactly on the outside of the feet, that hurted. I was lying on the ground, I was shouting, I was crying, that hurt it so badly, I have the pain, I can't remember it exactly. But I was not allowed to go to the hospital, I had to go on the same day, shopping, I had to go with my mom, no hospital, nothing. And the walk was, I could only talk, you know what I mean, when you cannot go, then it was said only if it's the next day, when the next day comes and it still hurts, then we can go to the hospital, But I had to go to school. That was the other part. On the next day I had to go to school. People were talking to me, why are you going so strange, It hurted so much. And after school, then I could go, thankfully, to the hospital. And it was, and I got the white big tape, and that still I feel, I still feel it. But that was later, that was around 1997, 1998 around, But I cannot wear small shoes. Since that I cannot do that, because that hurts so much. Normally I don't feel it, but sometimes when I play basketball, and some days I don't know why, it hurts, So always big shoes. That was, the beginning and a little bit later. But the first outside court where I played, and you see that, there we come immediately to all those things. But the first thing where I started on a real court, I'm a real streetballer, believe me that. I told you that all the time, I'm a 100% streetballer. In my court, when you talk about streetball, many people think there was a court outside, I didn't have a court, there was no one, I think 1993 or 4, I was researching it, but There is nothing, no one who could tell me that. But I think 1994, that was the first street court what I had, and it was on the street, you know. It really was on the street where cars were driving. There I learned streetball. Yeah, and I was filming a few months ago on the same street, and you will see that now also. On that street I learned streetball. That was really cool because when you were a child you could not go to another area. There existed a few courts outside, but they were too far away as a child. You know, there were no smartphones, nothing. You were not allowed, you could not go alone. But there in my area, they built a ring. Yeah, there was a ring in the stone wall. There was no board, you know, no board, only the ring in the stone wall. And there were the cars parking, and beside the cars were driving. And on that street we learned it. You know, and that was great. And there were a lot of players back in the day. But always the people with the cars were saying, "You are not allowed to play here, go away, my car, this, that," because when the ball was flying to a car. But that was my starting on a real court. So I'm a 100% street baller. Learned it in the street as a child. And my first ball was a David Robinson Franklin ball. I don't know when I got it, you know. I was researching it, but I don't know. Sadly, I didn't have this ball anymore. Only a few years ago, I put it into garbage, you know. I don't know why, because there I had not so many balls and I thought this ball is so old, I don't know if this rubber is healthy, I don't want it anymore because it's so old, and I put it away, you know. But I have a picture found and you see the ball, David Robinson from the San Antonio Spurs back in the days, yeah, from Franklin. So my first basketball was a Franklin. And I think, I don't know, 1992 or 1993 I got this ball, I believe, yeah. And so with this ball I started. And then also, on the same time, there was a court where I played, but this also, I cannot remember exactly, it was in a swimming area. You know the court, what exists now, the beautiful one, the American court. Yeah, you will see that in the swimming area where you have to pay, you know. And there, this is now the American court is the new court. But there was, I told you once, on the outside, on the area from the swimming area, now there is an hotel, you know. But there was a football field and a beach volleyball. And I believe to 90%, I have asked a few people, they said the same, but they could not guarantee 100%. But I believe there was a ring, a basketball basket in the grass, you know, in the grass one was there, and I believe there I also started my streetball journey. On the street and then also in there a year later or so, yeah. So, yeah, these two things, yeah, were really, really great. So that was the starting, you know. And there I have a lot of views, as you see now. I always was into basketball, streetball, yeah. So what do we have here? We can start with that. That I got back in the days, 1994, the Houston Rockets championship on VHS. Yeah, when they went master, 1993 and 1994. Yeah, I watched the basketball games and that was a highlight to me to get an VHS. You know, nowadays when you are young, you cannot imagine how the time was. There was no internet. You could not go to Amazon, to eBay and all that stuff and watch where can I get a DVD or a Blu-ray. Yeah, nowadays also the DVD and Blu-rays are beside and you watch on Amazon and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, Instagram, but that was not there, you know. And so VHS was the only thing. And in my area, you know, basketball was not a big deal. So you almost never find anything about basketball. And then when you got one of those, that was a highlight, you know. I watched that so much, Hakeem the Dream, Elisha one, you know, with Clyde Drexler. And I had a poster of Hakeem the Dream Elisha one in my child room, you know, back in the days. I had a lot of posters in there from basketball. Also later on, when I was a teenager, then I had the Kobe Bryant poster. You will see a few part of this now. And the poster what I had in my room from Hakeem the Dream Elisha one, he had the ball like this in his hand, you know, and was staying there. And I got this ball from my dad, you know, the ball, the special ball, 1996, the NBA ball, but it's the NBA Ultimate ball, but that was an expensive ball. It's like nowadays, I can't say exactly, but back in the days, this was a price like 110, 120 or such, in such a range, the price $120, you know. But there were no euro here, you know. We had other part of money. Then I got this ball and I made the same picture 1996 like Hakeem the Dream Elisha one. I have this picture but I cannot find it anymore. I believe I have it on a dia, you know, dia with a projector. And I have not the dia here. I was searching hours for hours to make this happen now. But I could not find it anymore. Only for that picture I searched hours for hours with all that stuff. Because you have to know, I'm filming over 20 years now. I filmed all kind of stuff. I filmed before YouTube existed. But before I filmed, I was into photography. You know, I was photography also from 1992 on. I always had a own camera and all that stuff, you know. And then the picture, it made me so proud, you know, the same picture like Hakeem the Dream Elisha one with the NBA ball, you know. I made a few videos about this special ball. Then later, around 1997, 1998, 1997 I think, there we got another basketball court. Because I was living then in a village, and in the small village there was an asphalt, you know, and there we had skate ramps, but self-made skate ramps for skateboarding, you know, and then they built there a basketball ring, and that was fantastic. And then there I played for years, you know, around the time 1997, 1998, 1999, 2000 and 2001 I think. And that period I played there, and it was great. There was behind a football field, and I have a video, but the video is later on from 2004. I've also shown you that one day, but I show you again. 2000, it was 3 I think. 2003, exactly 2003, you will see it. And there was the big football field. The problem was, there was a river left to the side, and when the ball made a rebound and fall, behind the basket, then it rolled into this river. The river was like this, you know, a little bit more. And then you had a problem, because when the river was going there were small trees. You could not go to the river. There was only one spot, and at the end, and there I had this nice ball, the Charlotte Hornets ball. Charlotte Hornets, since back then, is my favorite club, you know. And that ball I think I got in 1995. 1995. And that was a dream. I can remember exactly when I got it. It was a present for me. Present. We got to Toys R Us. Perhaps you know it. I think nowadays it's called Smith's. But back in the day, Toys R Us. And there they had every Spalding ball up there. On the highest thing. That was a dream, and they had the back catch, you know. Nowadays here you don't get the back catch. I understand it, why? Because too much garbage, but that was fantastic. One Spalding ball, all the companies, you know, the whole length. That didn't exist anymore nowadays here, you know. I made a video about shopping in my area. And I think it has to be 1995. I cannot say it exactly, but I think it has to be 1995. And I could choose one, and I choose this one. I liked, wow, Charlotte Hornets, the color, the symbol, everything. And I got this, and on the other side I got the size 6 ball, no, size 5 ball, I think, Los Angeles Lakers. And these were my 2 first basketballs. And then I played for years only with that basketball. You know, it's a rubber ball, but I was so proud because it was the only ball. It fell into the river all the times. I had to fish it out. I was playing there with others, you know. Later on, I was the only one who was playing there. But the cool thing was, we had light, you know. You could go there and there was no one. It was a village, and on that sport area, I could push the button sometimes, you know. When they forgot it, to close it, I could push the button, and we had those big lights, you know. And you were playing there at night alone with the big light. All was dark, but you had the light. Sadly, I don't have videos from that. I only have skateboard videos. But that was fantastic, you know. And I always played from the left side to the right side of the court, of the ring, because the rebound, then it didn't go to the river. So I always played from left to right, and there I was good in shooting, you know. And I made wide shots and all that stuff. But I could not dribble, because where should you learn it, you know? That was the other thing. But really nice. And also on that period of time, 1997, a year before, 1996, I got a own ring at the house, on that village where I lived, where this basket was. At the house where we lived, there was the garage from us, and then I got a real basketboard and ring. And there I also played with that ball, yeah, but only 1 year, 1996, 1997. And the problem was the neighbors. Yeah, the neighbors always came to me and said, this is too loud, you are not allowed, don't dribble, only shoot, yeah, and then when you shoot, you should go to the basket and grab the ball, that it don't fall to the ground, you know. They were older people. They still live, all there. They live nowadays also there, you know, they are alive. So, but there I also played a lot of times, yeah, it was cool, asphalt, it was not straight, you know, real street court. So really nice. And in school, you know, when I was 7, 8 years old, you know, I got this game, exactly that game. You see that? That was really nice. It is the same game as back in the days, you know. And on that we played in school. You had here the buttons, yeah, and the ball was jumping. And always when we had break between the hours, between the lessons in school, with 7, 8 years, yeah, I talk around 1992, 1993, there we played it. Yeah, it was nice. And I found in there a paper, I will not open it now, a paper where I put in, I can show you that. You have to see that a little bit, with all the countings what we had, you know. Really crazy. Then you know how long I'm into this game. So here you see it, you know. That was the nice game, you know. Really cool. And here, it's unbelievable, but I still have it. And there you see my favorite clubs. And when we played with this, I counted it, you know. You will not see it now. I had to go nearer, but only that you see it, that I have it. And here I have, for example, Charlotte Hornets against Chicago Bulls, 16-1 for Charlotte Hornets. You know, then I have Seattle, New York, yeah, Seattle Supersonics, didn't exist anymore, Orlando Magic, Los Angeles Lakers. And then, you know, these were my favorite clubs back then, you know. And I made, yeah, it was always basketball, so really nice. And the thing back then was, there existed only, I think around 1996, 1997 around, you could only watch once a week basketball on television. There was no internet, nothing. And on that thing, it was a German television. I think it was 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Once a week they had their own series about NBA games. And that was the only time where you could put in. You know, that was really nice. And also in that time, yeah, a little bit before, I think 1993, 1994, there was an absolutely great game, yeah, video gaming. I have one here, what I played later, yeah, it's a newer one, but the NBA Jam, yeah, if someone is out there who knows this game from back in the days, on the original Game Boy, you know, the Game Boy, the bright one, which had no color, yeah, the black, gray, white, you know what I mean, with no color, the original Game Boy. On that, I think 1993, 1994, the game, when you are from that time, you immediately will know it. NBA Jam. That game was unbelievable. 2 players against 2 players in a real street thing with dunking, excited things. Great. And there was then 1994, I think, there was the part 2 game. It was the same. It was called NBA Jam TE. I think it was the tournament edition, when I'm right, you know, but TE, and there you had a few more players to play. Yeah, that was great, you know. I played that so much, that made so much fun. Before I went to school, beside breakfast, I played, you know, wow, cool. Yeah, it was great, you know. And there also existed, before the games went to the Game Boy, in 1993, there was the arcade game. There were the big automats, you know. Nowadays you don't find that anymore, I think, you know. You have to search such rooms, you know. Perhaps in some areas you find it more often, but the gaming areas, you know, with the big automats to play games. There were all big rooms, you know, that was crazy that time. And there was the NBA Jam in color. And that was fantastic, you know. Here in my area we didn't have such things. Only when we went to holiday, you know. I think it was in Spain. Yeah, in Spain I think it was great, you know. The graphic was so great back then, you know. And it also exists then on the Super Nintendo and on the Sega Mega Drive, you know. But the arcade, that was the better one, you know. It was really cool. I have a picture where I was in such a hall playing the games, you know. But it was not the NBA Jam, but you will see the picture, you know. Then you can imagine how the time was. I think that was in Spain, in Mallorca, I think, you know. Or Ibiza, Mallorca. Around 1995, 1994 around was that great time, you know. So, and also not to forget, I have here a self-made VHS cassette, you know. You bought this and then you could record things from the television. And there was the game, I will read it now, the US Dream Team basketball from 1992 in Barcelona, Spain, you know. That was something very special back in the days when the best players went there, you know. That was crazy, you know. And that I had on record here and could always watch 1992, you know. So really nice, yeah. And yeah, that was really cool. And I also played on the other area where a friend of mine lived. Sometimes we played there. That was in front of a garage, you know. It was not a real court, only a garage. And they had a basket ring, a portable one, you know, but not what is standing, only the board, you know. And you could hang this on a thing, and there was above, you will see it in the picture. And there we played also, you know. It was also really nice. And then, not to forget, the basketball cards. You know, when you live nowadays and you see that, how I have this, you will think, what is this guy doing? He damaged the cards. Oh my gosh. But back in the days, we had it exactly like this. a rubber band and we had it in there, you know. And so we put this in our pockets like this. I was more carefully, that's because they are in a better condition now. The others had it really in the pockets and they were really damaged, you know. They were breaked in and all that stuff. I had it in the school bag, was more carefully, but we traded it, you know. And as a child, this is a time around 1994, at that period of time, you got pocket money, you know. I got pocket money, I think, nowadays in dollars it would be $2. Yeah, $1.50. Yeah, €1.50, €2, around that thing. Yeah, or other things, $3, €3, around that. You know, but back in the days, I think you could buy 1 or 2 packages for the whole pocket money, what you get the whole month. So you only get 1 package or 2. When I remember, I cannot say it exactly, but around that thing it was, you know. It was crazy. And then you got to the traffic shop, you know, where you bought, you could buy the cigarettes. There was the only shop where you got those. And I have the Flair and the Upperdeck. The Flair were the first one, and later on here at my area you got the Upperdeck. And that was nice, you know. I collected them, and I don't know, you know, I'm not into basketball cards. Perhaps there are some cards where when you are watching or you are into basketball cards where you perhaps say, wow, what that a card? It is a 1 million card. I don't believe that. I don't know how much worth they are. I don't think there is the special card, you know. But these are a lot of memories what I have. And I will show you with that camera the cards, you know. We will do it here and you can see a few things because from that side you will not see it. So let's go into it, into the basketball cards. So here we have the basketball cards, you know. This one was not real, this was another thing, you know, the Lakers. But now, perhaps you will see some cards. So we have to watch it, yeah. You will see now something. Perhaps there are cards which are meaningful. I don't know, but I want to share my memories to you. Only a few cards where we go into it. We'll make it like this, you know, wait, so that we have it better, you know. So here we go into it. These are the Flair from 1996, 1997, and I have also the 1994. I started 1994 with the basketball cards, you know. That was really, really nice. So here we have it. A few cards, you know. We go, so I have to watch with the camera. Yeah. They were a few upper decks, but here, you see that? Now, 1994, that I started to collect the cards, and that was the main part where I was so proud to have the cards. David Robinson, you know, David Robinson, here we have it, San Antonio Spurs to get it done, 1994, 1995, because I have to watch, my camera is, you see it here, it is really, it's only a small thing that it don't fall off, you know. So I have a little bit constant. Sean Elliott, San Antonio Spurs, you know. Really cool players, you know. Then rookie, Kevin Garnett, rookie card, you know. 1995, 1996, Flair, rookie card, Kevin Garnett. I don't know, perhaps people like this card, you know. So yeah, what do we have? Latrell Sprewell, you know, Golden State Warriors. I had a poster of him in my room. 1995, 1996 Flair card. David Robinson, yeah, same year. Great, you know. So really, really, so we go a little bit into it. So there we have a few logos. But here comes some cards I know. We have to, yeah, here you see, no, wait, where have it? Here, Hakeem the Dream Elisha one, 1994, 1995 Flair card. Yeah, really great, you know. That was a cool player to me. Then what do we have here? We have to watch it. So, few more cards. I think some are here which are really, to me, you know, special. Here, Alonzo Mourning, you know, but I liked it when he was by the Hornets, you know, 1995, 1996, Miami Heat, Alonzo Mourning. So, but there come some cards, Reggie Miller, you know, Indiana Pacers. I was irritated, I didn't watch the picture, only Miller and I knew, but hardwood leader, you know, cool card, you know. So, then what do we have here? We have to watch, there come some cards, we have to go quicker and do it. So now I think they are coming. So here rookie cards again. You know, perhaps you know some cards or not. You say, oh, be careful, this is the $1 million Tim Hardaway, you know. So, where do we have it? I think it is here on that thing. We have to watch out. So now we have the 1994, 1995 cards. So, yeah, where do we have it? I think the other, yeah, I think it's now in the next. Glenn Rice, you see, was back by Charlotte Hornets. Also, I can think Kevin Johnson. You know, where was the Kevin Johnson card? I did not mention it. Was it the Kevin Johnson? I cannot tell you exactly what was done by Charlotte Hornets. I'm not 100% sure now. But now we go to the next thing. Yeah, when you see that and you are a collector nowadays, you would think, oh my gosh, what is he doing? You know, but that was like back in the days. You know, these are my cards, my memories. We have it in the hands like this. But here we have some special cards, you know. So, yeah, you have seen it right now. Now watch this, where we have it. Shaquille O'Neal, Orlando Magic. That card, 1994, 1995, that was one of my favorite cards, you know. But one thing what they have made wrong here, you see an arm from a white player, you know. That they should have cut this out. But that card was one of my favorite ones. They were called dribble threats, I don't know how it's called. Nice, you know. Then Scottie Pippen, also the same card, same year, 1994, 95. Great one, you know. Then David Robinson, yeah, great. These were the nice cards to me. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, 1994, 1995, Flair card, really nice. Karl Malone, you know, I like the Utah Jazz, 1994, 95, great, you know. So, then we have to go on. Dennis Rodman, San Antonio Spurs, you know, perhaps the younger ones ask, what? San Antonio, Dennis Rodman, he was Chicago, yeah. Dennis Rodman, 1994-5, you know, great one. Nice. Horace Grant, I also like this player, Orlando Magic, you know. Then David Robinson again, 94-95. Latrell Sprewell, 94-95, great cards, you know. Charles Barkley, Phoenix Suns, you know, 1995, we are now 96, great one. Kevin Garnett, 95-96, yeah, also like David Robinson again, yeah, cool, yeah. So we go on a little bit. Dikembe Mutombo, I don't know how it's called, Dikembe Mutombo. Back in the days, you know, as a kid, you didn't know it. I always say Dikembe Mutombo, you know. That player you knew back in the days. So we go on. Alonzo Mourning, yeah, Miami Heat. Great. A few things. Then we have to watch now. These are the 94, 95 cards. I think there were... yeah, we could go on a little bit. So, we put this away a little bit, you know. So be careful. So Rashid Wallace, But these are not the special cards to me personally, 1995, 1996, but I think Grant Hill, 96, 97, Flair, Grant Hill, that I liked. The Detroit Pistons I liked also really, really much, So I have a Detroit Pistons, the video from the minus 12 degrees court, 10F, There I had the Detroit Pistons cap on there, the most warm cap what I have. Grant Hill again, great, So we go on a little bit. Now there are coming cool cards, believe me that. So Grant Hill, you see that card was such a nice card. I liked it. The Flair 1995, 1996 card with the blue one, the letters, really, really cool, So we go on. Then I have a few Raptors cards, but excuse me. The Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies, they went into the NBA back in the days and they were always the last ones, they were really the last ones. I remember that, So here we have a few players from the Raptors. I never liked Raptors and Vancouver because of the symbols. As a kid you had clubs which you liked and which you didn't like. So we go on a little bit. Charles Oakley, Charles Oakley, great Patrick Ewing, New York Knicks. I liked him. 1996, 1997. Charles Oakley again, Patrick Ewing, that was a favorite player also for me. 1996, 1997, the Flair cards, really, really nice. So Patrick Ewing again, Flair, 95, 96, so here we go. Nice card, So we go on, these are the 94, 96 cards. So Patrick Ewing again, nice. So what do we have then? Come Hakeem the Dream Elisha one. 96, 97 card. Yeah, great. So Sam Cassell also, Houston Rockets. Really cool. Hakeem the Dream Elisha one again, NBA champion 2-time back to back. Where they thought the Orlando Magic will be champion, with Anthony Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal, but it was the Houston Rockets. Great. And also, one thing I've forgotten to tell you, I had the basketball magazines, there existed a German basketball magazine called Basket, and I got it, thankfully, from my so-called granddad. I got it every month. I could go to the newspaper shop. It was great, and there also existed the other one, the Basketball USA. That was an expensive one, but I got it sometimes. But the Basket, you could read all that stuffs in there, was great, And I collected them really nice. I have it still, from back in the days. I am collecting it, I have the old ones. I can show you a picture. It's really nice where I had this, There were posters in and all that stuff. Really, really nice, So now we go on with the cards. What do we have here? Clyde Drexler, Houston Rockets, Clyde Drexler and Hakeem the Dream Elisha one with Sam Cassell. Great, here we have it. These were 95, 96, also these Flair cards. Really, really great. Shaquille O'Neal, 96, 97, Flair card. And now these are some of my favorite ones. Shaquille O'Neal, that card, wow, that blue one, that was one of my favorite. Great. Then Anthony Hardaway, what a great player back in the days. Really, really nice. Anthony Hardaway, here we have it again. Shaquille O'Neal, what a nice card, I liked the Magic, I think was the second club which I liked most after the Charlotte Hornets. Horace Grant again, really, really great few players. Nice, So the Lakers of you. Vlad Divac, you know, there was always, you know, you knew this player, Vlad Divac. Great. So, Nick Van Exel I also can remember, you know. So what do we have here again? These are those cards. So we have to watch out, you know. Gary Payton, Seattle Supersonics. Gary Payton was a really quick, great player. Sean Kemp, you know. Sean Kemp, Gary Payton and Detlef Schrempf, you know. Wow, that was Seattle Supersonics. Gary Payton again. Yeah, really cool, yeah. So, do we have a Detlef Schrempf card? I can here, you know. They are, no, Gary Payton again. Yeah, great cards, or. So where do we have it? These are the 94, 95. Yeah, no. Trailblazers. We have to watch out what we have here. And these were Upperdecks, these were, I don't know where these were in, I think they were in the breakfast, Kellogg's in there. These are complete other cards, you feel it. Hakeem the Dream, Clyde Drexler. What do we have? Grant Hill again. Dikembe Mutombo, a great picture in winter. What do we have? Jason Kidd card, you see? Horace Grant again. Mitch Richmond. So what we have the other, Tony Kukoc, yeah, great. But now we have, that was what we have now, the other cards. I have it in the package, and that back in the days, I think only I had it in there. Because people didn't watch for the cards, you know. They were treating it like, you know, breaking it in and all that stuff. So, but here we have to watch now how we do this with that book, you know. Did we do here? So, nicer. Oh, wait for the camera. So, nothing happened. We have to make this a little bit other, I think. So, how can we do that? Wait a little bit. I check it. So, now we go on. It is not perfect now from the light and conditions, but doesn't matter now, you know. You will see it also here. These were the upper deck, and I put it in here, but you see that here it is open, you know. It only the plastic goes to here, and the last part of the card is open. But that I did, you know, and those cards, I don't know exactly. Wait, I have to watch backside. They are from 1997, you know, 1997. Here I have a few cards which I liked so much, you know, the Charlotte Hornets. Here, Vlade Divac, Del Curry, you see. But back there we have watch this, Chicago Bulls, Upper Deck, Dennis Rodman, you know. And here's some Charlotte Hornets player, but later on I have a lot of Charlotte Hornets players. Dennis Rodman, which year was it? Also 1997. Yeah, 1997 was the Dennis Rodman card. And I believe me, always back in the days when you got a package and there was a Michael Jordan card in it, that was like the gold standard. You had won everything when you had a Michael Jordan card. And I had one. And one I can remember, but I'm not 100% sure. But I believe, I don't know if I wanted to do it or I have done it. I don't know. But I know someone showed me 5 Charlotte Hornet cards. And he said, give me the Jordan card. And I said, wow, absolutely, yes. 5 cards of Hornets. I got 5 cards from Hornets. Then you can have the Jordan card. 5 cards to 1, to me that was crazy. Nowadays you think, wow, a Jordan card. So, yeah, here we have the Charlotte Hornet cards. We go in Tony Kukoc again, you see it. It's not best condition now from the light, but doesn't matter. Tony Kukoc, I tell you it. So, we go a little bit faster now. I will tell you when we have something, what I think, to me, what was something good. with the camera not so easy to watch over it. Reggie Miller, you know. I never liked Reggie Miller. You know, the Indiana Pacers I never liked, and also Chicago Bulls I never liked. Back in the days. Shaquille O'Neal now, Los Angeles Lakers. Great card. Upperdeck, you know. Nice. So what do we have also here? Some I have 2 same cards or 3 same cards. So what later on we have some other things. We go a little bit faster now. Jason Kidd, you know, San Antonio Spurs, nice card. So what do we have all here? I have to watch from the side that we see it. Sean Elliott, that was also a name which you had to know back then. Wow, the Utah Jazz now. Karl Malone with John Stockton, you know. The 3-point guard, and he was the big giant, you know. Only Shaquille O'Neal was more great, you know. Yeah, these are the memories. So now I think, wow, watch this card. NBA Game Night, Chicago Bulls. Yeah, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Jordan here. You know, really a nice card, or 1997 Chicago Bulls. Really nice. So what do we have also? Here, David Robinson, you know, the San Antonio Spurs card here. Carl Stockton, you know, Karl Malone, John Stockton here also, John Stockton. Nice, and now watch this. The Michael Jordan card, that was back in the days to me a special card. When you choose the Jordan card where he plays golf. That was, the name was Catch 23, I think, you know, we read it here. Michael Jordan at golf playing. That was cool. And here also a card. Yeah, nice, or? So, then we have a few more. We go a little bit faster now. Because what did we have here? What was this? I think Chicago Bulls. Yeah, here. But, so here, Scottie Pippen, you know, Karl Malone, yeah, nice cards. David Robinson again, but these were other things. These were light ones. I think they were in a newspaper or in the Kellogg's to breakfast. I don't know. Now watch this. That was the most meaningful what we have now to me back in the days. Charlotte Hornets, and I have also to tell you a story. I always wanted to have a cap, a baseball cap from Charlotte Hornets. And in my area, you had no chance as a kid to get it. In every shop I was, there was no basketball cap, you know. And then I thought, I told to a friend of mine when I was 10 years old, I think, I drive to Italy on holiday. I think it was Rimini in Italy, on the beach. And I told, I will not drive back as a child. I will not drive back until I have a Charlotte Hornets baseball cap. And really, they had it there. I still have the same cap, you know, the Charlotte Hornets cap. I have a few caps from Charlotte Hornets. And that was magical to me, you know. That was fantastic. And so here we have it. The most meaningful cards to me back in the days. Charlotte Hornets logo. This logo. David Wingate, 94, 95. Robert Parrish, you know. Wow. Mauxi Box, the little player, you know. Really, really nice. These are the 94, 95 Flair cards. I've made a mistake, you know. Larry Johnson, it was, you know, back, I said Kevin Johnson, Larry Johnson. So, Del Curry, you know, that was also a favorite player back in the days. So, here, Del Curry again. Glenn Rice, also great player to me. Larry Johnson again. You know, and I was always thinking, Larry Johnson, Glenn Rice, and Mauxi Bogues, and also Alonzo Mourning. These would be my dream thing. Yeah. And one time I tell you another thing. One time in a basket magazine, they had the results from all games from the whole season were in small things in there, but with no results. And you had to go to the results via teletext, you know. Teletext, I don't know if you know it, on television, on a own channel, so it's called. On a channel, you go to the teletext, and then you had the results from the NBA games, but they were only in there for 2 or 3 days, what I remember. Have you forgotten to do it on the 3rd or 4th day? You could have no chance to find out how the results were. And I collected every single game for the whole season. I have this, I show you that now. You will see it. The whole season I have collected it. Every single day I had to collect on teletext. There was no internet, no schedules where I did it. I had no internet on that period of time, so it's called, you know. On that time, because this is later on, but wow, that was really cool. Nowadays you cannot think about this. You open your smartphone and you can watch how the result is. Back then you didn't have a chance. And there was one time when the Charlotte Hornets beat the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls almost never lost, but one time they lost to the Charlotte Hornets. And that was absolutely unbelievable. So here, Dale Curry again. Yeah, really nice. So here also Dale Curry, Alonzo Mourning, Upperdeck card now. Also one of my favorite cards. So here we have Larry Johnson. That was a bigger one. They were special. I don't know where these cards were in. Cannot remember. And now we have the last ones, the Chicago Bulls cards, you know. So here, watch this. Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen card, and Dennis Rodman. These were the Flair 1994, 1995, and here 95, 96. Yeah. And now, yeah, once again, Tony, wait. So Tony Kukoc, but here Scottie Pippen, yeah, one of a great card, 96, 97 now, and now we have it, the Michael Jordan cards, you know, Upperdeck, Michael Jordan, the Flair card, 96, 97, that was a special card also here. Here this one was nice, yeah, but that I liked very much, you know, that was because I never was a fan of the Bulls because they were in the same area where the Charlotte Hornets were, and they always won, you know, always won the Charlotte Hornets, not. And here the last one, this one you see, Upperdeck, no, Flair card 95, 96, Michael Jordan card, you know. Yeah, these are my basketball memories with the cards from back in the days, you know. So, now you have seen it, the basketball cards, really, really nice, you know. I liked it really much, you know. That was really a nice time, yeah. And so, that was a little bit about the basketball journey of mine, you know. And also a thing was, I never ever had basketball shoes, you know, at that time. I always was playing with street shoes or most of the time with skateboard shoes, you know, street shoes, skateboard shoes, because yeah, the money was not there for such expensive things, you know, and so, but that also worked well because skateboard shoes, especially back in the days, they were made that you don't go with the feet this, you know what I mean, so they were perfect for it to me, you know. I still play with skateboard shoes. You see me on the videos, the white shoes, these are DC shoes, you know. I like them, especially when it's raining. I only play with these shoes, you know. So really a cool time. And the only time when I played indoor, yeah, that was 1995 for 5 days, yeah. I cannot remember exactly, but I think it was 5 days. It was in summer, you know, and you got, that was from the school. Yeah, but not from the school where you go. They had programs when there were holidays. And in holidays, you could choose a program, you know. you go to this sport, to that, or to other activity besides sport, and I choose basketball. And then I was 5 days in there. It was beautiful weather outside, and you were in this indoor basketball room. It was really nice. We were, I don't know, 5, 6 players. You will see it on the pictures. I have pictures. And that was the only time in my life where someone showed me how to play. I was 10 years old, 9 or 10 years I was old. I think I was, I had birthday and then I was 10, 10 I was, I think. Only in 5 days with 10 years age I learned it, the only time in my life. But I learned to pass, to throw, to dribble a little bit, and it was a cool time, So yeah, that was really cool. That was a journey of mine. Now you have seen I have all the balls. That was also always in my life a dream to play all balls what exist, the expensive ones. I always wanted that feeling. And now, so many years later, I have it. And now I can share it to the people out there, because I only, I have to tell you now something. I never wanted to start this channel, I never wanted to start this YouTube channel. I want to start another channel which has nothing to do with sports, or with basketball, streetball. And I was starting with all the balls, to buy the balls, to try it out. I was making the whole round like always, I always go all chords in a round. Every time I play another chord until I have finished all chords. Then I start again the round, And I always had balls by me and played. And I was then starting to film it, And in my own language, I made videos, and it was cool. And at one point, I thought, I could do this in English, and then I could share it to the people. Why not? Then other people have also something from it. My dream was always to have the balls. After all those many years, I could do it, and then I want to share it to other people. Why not? Then they have my experience from the balls, which I can bring to you, And so I started that channel, and I wanted to make other sports also in there. And then nowadays they know me for the basketball, And now I have to bring basketball videos all the time and not other sport videos, only sometimes, But I called it Streetball #1 because that is the main part of the channel, So that was a nice thing. And later on I had other basketball games, but this is one which I like nowadays also. The NBA Playground 2, I have it for the Switch. It was 2017 or 18. Wait, I have to watch it. Where is it? So 2018, this game came out. When you played NBA Jam, then this is like the deluxe version. 2 versus 2 on great chords, absolutely fantastic, The Halloween chord on this game I love. I could play with the music from that Halloween chord all day long, Really, really cool, I like it. So, that was the basketball journey. I hope you liked it. And what can I say? I will buy all balls what I get, but I don't have the money, Now I have really a problem, but, I have a few balls more here, It's also a part. I have bought a lot of balls, the new balls, the other balls I have played long, but where I write on the new balls, they are really new. These are first time impressions, and I have a few more here, Not that you think, I can buy and buy. No, it's really complete the other side. But I have them here and we will go on, So, I hope you enjoyed it. Really, really nice. So long time of basketball, And also I have one thing I have forgotten. There existed another chord back in the days which was a little bit outside, you know, from my home where I'm here. And that court was my lovely court. You know, I made also a video from the no-go areas because this court doesn't exist anymore. They built everything new there. Yeah, that is a whole street with grass and all stuffs. And where this basket was, there is now a beach volleyball court, you know. But that basket court was really, really nice, you know. Sadly, that this didn't exist anymore. That would be the best to me from all courts, you know. That was a little bit like the airport court, you know. You know, the airport court is one of my favorite courts, perhaps because of this, you know, because of the court back in the days, you know. So yes, a lot of memories, you know. So I like that so much, you know. Now we are in 2023. You know, started 1991, now we have it 2023, and we are still here, we are still playing the game, you know. And it has changed a lot, but that would be another video, how it was back then and how it is nowadays, on the courts, outside, from the people, from the clothing and all that stuff, you know. But it was really, really nice. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you play also that long, and we will see us again with the next ball. Until then, bye and ciao.